what we're talking about here today is we're going through a very simple framework about selling. This has helped me drastically change the way I sell. Okay? It's positioning myself as the guide. So Cameron comes along to me and says, Coach, I know you got some excess cash. I know you're trying to figure out what you want to do with it. Okay? I know you're putting money into certain things. I don't know what kind of returns you're getting. But my job is to convince you that this is the best place for you to put your money. Everybody see that? Because really, Coach, what are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to get my passive income. See, this is why I ask the question when I'm selling. What are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to get my passive income to where it's greater than my living expenses. At that point, I'm free, rich. Say my living expenses are $55,000 a year, and the money kicking off from your investment was $56,000 a year. Guess what? I'm rich, because technically I don't have to go to work, right or wrong. Okay, and here's the point I always make. When Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book Retire Young, Retire Rich, his net worth was only $250,000. He had 2 apartment complexes. His living expenses were $55,000 a year, and his passive income from those apartment complexes were greater than his living expenses. So he wrote the book Retire Young, Retire Rich, because technically him and his wife didn't have to go to work. Everybody see that? Now, when I say that one thing right there, guess what I'm really doing? I'm alerting you to something. You're sitting there going, oh, I thought to be rich you had to make millions of dollars. No. Really, to be wealthy or rich, your passive income just needs to be greater than your living expenses. So if you have $50,000 living expenses and your passive income is $60,000, then you're rich. That's what I'm saying. Now, notice what I'm doing here. Okay, the other night I was coaching EXP agents at EXPCon in Las Vegas, and their biggest deal is recruiting. The way they really make passive income is they recruit downlines of agents, and then they get a percentage off those agents. But here's the funny thing, Dwight, they can't get their agents to go recruit. The agents are so focused on selling houses, they're like, how do I get to 40 houses? How do I get to 50 houses? The big money is not in getting to 50 houses. The big money is having 5,000 people in your downline. Do you know what the difference is? Maybe $100,000 a year compared to $500,000 a month. Everybody with me? So they bring me in. And I say, look, at some point in everybody's life, in this room, you're going to get interested in passive income. You're going to get sick and tired of working 80 to 120 hours a week. You're going to get sick and tired of the car you're driving. You're going to get sick and tired of the house you're living in. You're going to get sick and tired of something until you start thinking much bigger. And your bigger has got to be passive income. And the way you guys, the people in this room, can get passive income is by recruiting, not selling houses. Everybody see that? What I'm doing is I'm alerting them to the gap. Okay? If they can't figure out that they have a problem, then there's no sale to be made. Okay? If I'm doing my taxes, Dwight, over here, and I'm moderately satisfied with my taxes over here, and I like the person doing my taxes over here, why would I leave them and come to you? Because you come along and say, look, I see what they're doing, but there's probably 4 to 5 strategies they're not using that can significantly decrease your taxes. Now, let me give you an example. I had a tax firm once that called me on April 15th. When's the tax date? 15th? So they called me on April 14th at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. They said, we need a check tomorrow for $60,000. I said, what? They said, yeah, you made a lot more money this year. We need a check for $60,000. I was livid. I'm like, you're calling me on Sunday night at 10 o'clock, the day before the taxes are due, to tell me I need to write you a check for why haven't you told me this the whole time? Here's what they said. Well, you should have known you were making a lot more money. You should have known you owe more tax. I said, you're my friggin' tax person. I hired you to help me control my taxes. So thank God I call another tax person. They're like, oh, we can extend it to October. We can use these 4 strategies. I ended up owing like nothing. But with this bozo over here, I owed $60,000. And I owed it the next day. How fast can a person get fired? Okay? I said some things that night that you would not have wanted to record, okay? Now, here's my point. If I'm going down this path and I'm paying in taxes and I'm paying in taxes and Dwight comes along and says, look, I understand why you're going to those people over there. I get it. I know you like them. But there's actually all these things we could be doing to be helping you on the taxes. What he's really alerting me to is this gap. I understand you invest in multifamily. I understand you put money in the stock market. I understand you do this. But let me show you, Coach, there is a much better return over here than over here. If you can't alert people, I understand why you want to go with this marble company. I understand why you like them. I understand you're trying to go with the cheapest people. But let me show you why this is what you need to do. You are alerting a person to the gap. And if you can't alert a person, I got auctioneers on here. Ruth, our new monster producer. I can understand why you want to put it on the market. Okay, I can understand. Okay? But man, we could auction this house off with a high degree of certainty and sell it in one day. That's what I'd be saying to people. See, this is where I think people struggle. Right? Is that they can't do a good job of helping people understand what their gap is. If you can't do that, you can't sell anything, folks. Okay, so I got a character. The character has a problem. The character is the hero. The character's going on a journey. Okay? They're going to a bigger place, but they got a problem. When they recognize they got a problem, that's the gap. They then need a guide, a coach, a person. Okay? What do? You give them a simple plan, man. I got a simple plan to get you from A to B. Okay? Now, you give them calls to action. It helps them to avoid failure, and it leads them toward success. And that's really what we're going to be breaking down today. Okay? Now, once you get this concept of hero going on the journey, the hero, the guide, and the gap. They're the hero, you're the guide, they got a gap. Okay? Your job is to explain it. Now, every movie, if you go back and you study like Star Wars, like last night in preparation for this, I was watching George Lucas talk about when he created Star Wars. Every great movie that you watch follows this script. There's somebody, and they're going on a journey. They have doubt. They don't know if they can make it. You don't know if they're going to make it or not. They're trying to accomplish something. Somebody comes into their life that helps them accomplish it. There's drama. There's conflict. There's villains. There's victims. That's what makes for great television, right? You don't know if they're going to make it out or not make it out. You don't know if they're going to live or they're going to die. They're going to win or they're going to lose. Which keeps it what? Interesting. Which is why you watch the movie. So George Lucas was talking about how he was coached by George Campbell, and George Campbell basically invented this concept of the hero's journey. And pretty much every major movie follows the exact same script. It doesn't matter if it's a comedy, a drama, right? A horror film. So how do you apply this to selling? Everybody's got problems. See, I don't see selling as complicated as a lot of people do. I see it as, hey, you got a problem. If I can find that problem and solve that problem for you, I am valuable to you. You are willing to share money with me if I solve the problem for you. Now, when we look at this and we break down the concept here, here's what I like to look at, okay? Because this is where the big money is. Y'all are interested in the big money, aren't you? All right? The big money is in what I call neglected problems. And I want you to think right now about big problems that you see over and over and over in your industry. Okay? These are what I would call neglected problems.